Hello, Age of Sigmar fans. Good to have you back here. Zach here. Saray over there. How's it going, Saray?
Hey, what's up?
Saray, this is your faction today that we're
Right.
that we're jumping into.
This is my show today.
This is your show. You take the lead. I don't really know anything about this army
Okay.
other than actually it's been a very long time since I've played on stream against you playing this army.
Yeah, we should also mention you have this army.
I do have this
Like,
army.
I feel like we forget that sometimes.
I painted this army up. I played about. I knew I wanted this army one way or another to have as part of my collection. I felt like it was a good army to have, like, for somebody to come and play, like a new person. At the time, I was still at another YouTube channel that was starting to do AOS. I painted it a little bit for them, but I just wanted that army. Because it's kind of just a nice, well-rounded army. I played about 2 games with it. It was like, I hate this playstyle. I cannot play this army. So I don't play it, and you do. You like this playstyle. What do you like about it? What do you like about slaves?
It's simple.
Is it?
It's simple with just a little bit of like a little flavor of like, okay, you can do a little bit to make it better, but you don't really need to. You don't need to focus on like super buffing your army up.
Okay.
But before we do that, we need to do some science.
We need to cue the science music. We need to hit the lab. Here we go into the lab, into the science room or lab. It's different depending on the use of it, and we can't get into that now. That's just
it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. You guys wouldn't understand. Okay, we have a lie that has happened here. We have had some sabotage. Have you seen this, Ray?
Oh my God.
I just now noticed that someone has broken into the lab, broken into our computers, our computer modular.
Good Lord.
Yeah, our computer system has been sabotaged. I'm gonna.
We can't. This is what. See, look, science is under attack.
Science is under attack in America.
Science.
Yeah.
Sigmar.
Okay.
Go ahead and put that at the very bottom under Archeon.
As punishment to the
sending a message.
I don't even know how to spell any
Hunters.
of that. I barely know how to spell hunters. I don't know how to certainly.
No, H-U.
H-U.
Huan. A-N.
Wait, H-U. Then it sounded like you said Puan. That Puan.
H-U-A-N-C-H-I. That's right.
Okay. All right. For now, it's staying down there. That'll teach whoever did this.
When you fuck with science.
Yeah, don't fuck with science.
I told you not to mess with science, whoever mysterious stranger.
You know what? I can't do this. In good faith, at the very least, Saray.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Let's not let our emotions.
Let's not do things we can't take back.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we can always take it back.
Yeah. Hunters and Hawanji, at least better than Archeon, the Ever-Chosen. Okay. Speaking of Archeon, the Ever-Chosen, here is his right-hand lady, I think, right? Is she?
Yeah. She's the sword.
Abraxia. This is a new model.
Abraxia.
What do you think on this model, Saray?
I love this model.
Mm-hmm.
It's super cool. The one thing I would change, and I did change it on my model, I don't like her helmet.
No?
It's the only thing.
What don't you like about it?
It just looks weirdly proportioned. It's like weirdly thin.
Okay.
And like top heavy. I mean, all the Chaos helmets are kind of top heavy like that, but I swapped her helmet out, and I think it looks much better.
Yeah, yours looks great. I didn't have a problem with this one either, though. Do you think, this is a serious question, I know people will get on me a little bit for this question, but do you think the reason her helmet is a little thinner is just because it's to be more feminine, because she's a she?
I mean, maybe, but
there's not a lot of other ways they show that with this
model. Well, they have
model.
Chaos Warrior ladies that are also just, their helmets don't look weird.
Their helmets don't look weird, okay.
It's just her helmet.
Yeah,
the problem, it looks like a Vanguard helmet, and I think all the Vanguard helmets look bad.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
And I've swapped every single Vanguard helmet out because I think they look silly.
Okay, let's move on. We'll come back. We're going to rank her.
Yep.
Okay, here's this thing.
Wilderfin.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's so cool. It is so cool.
As a mandrill fan, we love mandrills. It's got the lip thing.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think you're right in that it is actually slightly looks like I would not be surprised if it had some mandrill influence, like in its design.
It definitely does.
Yeah,
Lip.
yeah. No,
Cool.
yeah. This is what example. This
like a shaped chimp.
What's not a model that's not as cool as this is the Sunshark bomber over in the 40K world. This is following in the Sunshark bomber's footsteps. You would wonder what those two models have in common.
Yes,
Since their introduction, they have never been good. Like, not even remotely good. Like, you wouldn't even consider taking them. It's so bizarre when GW does that. They're like, hey, here's this thing we put a lot of time and effort into. Let's not sell any of them. It's very weird.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's super weird.
I was frozen, but I was laughing.
Yeah, we could see that you were laughing. What do you think on this?
I think it's great. I think it's super cool. I know that's like exactly what I said for Abraxia, but my thoughts are pretty much the same. This is cool in a different way.
Yeah.
It feels pretty unique. I don't think I've seen many things like this in the game and maybe in fantasy in general, honestly.
It's that weird. The other thing, oddly enough, like this is the Demon Prince that we'll talk about today, where they're this weird, like, am I a monster? I'm kind of not that big. I'm pretty monstrous. You know, the Vargskier, which is now moving to Legends and Soulblight Gravelords, is not big enough to warrant that you would think it's a monster. You look at that thing and you're like, that's a beast. That's about as beast as a beast gets. Then you look at the Wilder Fiend or Demon Prince and you're like, are they a monster? Is that the tiniest monster?
I mean, this feels like a devolved Demon Prince.
That's what it looks and seems like it in a lot of ways.
It's kind of like, but it's like a upgraded from a Chaos Spawn is what it is also.
Right, which is a beast. So it's in this bizarre beaster monster. I think it's a beast in its rules. I don't know.
Okay. I don't think it...
probably, because that would make it worse, and that's...
Yeah, you're right. Whatever the worst rules are is what it has.
Okay. Moving on. Last and, well, maybe not least, or maybe least, the humble Chaos Warrior. This is our tradition here as scientists of evaluating kind of like the baseline troop of each faction. Saray, we're going to start here. We're going to start here with some science. We're going to evaluate this.
All right. Now I know what some people are going to think I'm crazy here.
Can we remind folks at home what currently the top baseline troop is?
The current,
I believe,
is that an Amarty Thrall? No, it's Source Warriors.
Source Warrior recently
added to the list.
Jumped quite ahead of the Namarti Thrall, actually.
Yeah. So
Source Warrior currently the best baseline troop. How does the Humble Chaos Warrior fit in?
All right. I think everyone relax before I say this. I think Chaos Warriors are classic for a reason. They are iconic.
They're iconic.
I think that's kind of like not even debatable.
Mm-hmm.
They're iconic and they're iconic for a reason. I don't think they're as cool as Source Warriors. I don't think they're as cool as Free Guild Cav. I think they're our new. I think they're cooler than Blood Rack Shrine.
I think so too. I think all your points are pretty correct. There's a world in which there's a world in which you want to put these guys like in the top 10.
Yes.
Right.
Legit, I think that an argument could be made.
If we were, and maybe we should. Listen, we're going to move on and have a bigger show, a longer running show. We should do like some different rankings. We should do like most iconic models, and this is certainly one of them.
Super iconic.
Here's the cool thing about this model. Saray, you had mentioned that I have a Slaves to Darkness army. My Slaves to Darkness army has 30 warriors, 10 from each generation. And I did my oldest ones, they're all kind of they've got that
they're
crunched in thing.
their weapons
Yeah,
like this.
I did those guys as Nurgle, but these other two newer ones I did just as for lack of a better word, unaligned. What do they call it? What's it called when they're not part of any god?
Undivided.
Undivided. And honestly, all 3 generations of Chaos Warriors still hold up. The oldest one, I think you got to work with them a little bit. Like I said, I purposely did mine as Nurgle, so kind of like they were a little different, and they are a little smaller. But the past 2 generations of Chaos Warriors are pretty seamlessly go together.
Yeah. I'm looking at the size comparison. Is that they're pretty good fit.
Yeah. Okay, that is this guy. Good spot for him.
I think that's right. I think it feels right.
Next, we've got Abraxia.
Okay. Some people have questioned my scientific method, so here, I'm just going to explain it real fast.
Okay.
This model looks a little bit like a croissant. Right?
It was
Croissant.
It was influenced by breakfast pastry for sure.
Yes, influenced by breakfast foods. You can see the sausage influence there on the spear.
Sausage.
But croissant is like crescent.
Mm-hmm.
Crescent, like the moon. Moon is in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, space. Space, very scientific. Highly scientific model.
But hold on.
Move it up there.
Yeah, we're moving up. But you, I hear you said something I think is important. You said it's in the moon is in the sky, but actually you said it's in outer space. But I think the sky is also in outer space. So I think you are right, sure. in both situations. Scientifically speaking, I think you were right.
Yeah.
Okay, is she better than Danny the Snitch? Little Danny Snitch.
You can keep going up. She's cooler than a Mogrunta. She's cooler than King Broad.
Oh,
she's cooler than Changeling.
Changeling! You love your Changeling. She's cooler than the Changeling. Is she cooler than a Gore Warden?
No.
In our game last night, I just murdered Scumdrek, and while I was doing it, I couldn't help but think he's kind of not that cool. Is he really that cool?
He's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool. Okay,
he's still cool.
Star Master or in between Changeling and Star Master?
I think it's below Star Master.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that Thanatorg's super cool. Her herself is not that cool, but the mount is super cool.
Yeah. But the chair for the Star Master.
Below the Gore Warden.
Below the Gore Warden, we're saying
yeah.
Cool scary monster beats floating chair. Okay.
Super 80, she is cooler. I just explained. Did you not listen?
Yeah, I don't know why these people think this isn't science.
This shape looks like the moon.
It's a crescent. It's a moon. It's in space. We went over it all.
Necrons use croissant.
Yeah, Necrons are cool.
And they're the highest scientific race in all of Warhammer.
Yeah.
So.
They are scientific.
Come on, guys.
Okay, last, and boy, I don't know. Also...
You don't need to move down far.
Don't need to move down far for this guy. He seems cooler than King Broad to me.
I was kind of thinking that, but I also don't think he's cooler than a Thaumaturge.
Well, do we need to reevaluate science here?
No.
No? Is he cooler than a Bloodthirster? Is he cooler than a Bloodthirster?
Yeah, you're right. We need to reevaluate this list. But this is too much shifting.
7, 8, 7, 8, 9.
Bloodthirster needs to go way down.
7, 8, 9, 10 is a mess.
Thaumaturge has to go up. Cthulhu probably needs to go up.
This is a mess. 7 to 11 is a mess.
Put it below Thaumaturge.
Oh wow, not even in the top 10.
No, I don't think so. I think it's super cool, but not like Thaumaturge is. It's kind of stunned on people. Thaumaturge probably needs to go up.
Thaumaturge for sure needs to go up. Gouger, in my scientific opinion, Bloodthirster needs to go down.
Bloodthirster definitely needs to go down.
Can we switch him? Can we switch him at least?
No. Hold on. Just grab the Bloodthirster.
Okay.
Just grab him.
Yeah.
Move it down. Let's see. Delete.
Oh, I see. You wanna just
delete
bump down like that.
No. Delete the Bloodthirster.
Just delete him.
Yeah, get rid of it.
He's not even here anymore. Okay.
Scroll down. Scroll down. Put Bloodthirster right above Great Cannon.
This is wild.
Below. No, keep going down. Right above Kurdos.
Right above Curse. This is an interesting. You're seeing it here first, folks. How signs can work.
Sorry, Soups just gave us a grant.
Oh.
Soup. Hold on. I'm getting a message from Soups. He says, grant for further research into how Abraxia is so not as cool as the Changeling. Soups has just done a little bit of independent research.
All right.
And he's right. You know, we're right. There we go.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there are a lot of cases to be made that she's not as cool as the Changeling that we're now seeing for the first time.
She doesn't have as many arms. She's not floating.
She's not floating. She can't fly.
See, this is why you need to have peer review.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Look at the big chaos symbol. Attention, look at me, chaos symbol.
Yeah. We don't like science doesn't like fucking main character syndrome.
She's a real pick-me. She's a real pick-me girl, Abraxia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it off.
All right. That said, if you came here wondering, excited to talk Slaves to Darkness and the new update today, up until now, it's fair to say that you've probably been fairly disappointed. But we're going to change that because we have finished the rankings. You can see there it says rankings and the arrows there. And now we're moving to Slaves to D.
By the way, sorry, I just want to put this out here. I think at the end of this short run of this show, we should ask the people who are truly upset at the list to make their own version of the list with the models we've done.
Yeah.
Just so we can see how different everyone's is.
That'd be interesting. Also,
I want to see it.
You know, I also want to thank Ty. We forgot to thank Ty. In between the two shows, Ty gifted a membership. Ty, if you're still here, thank you so much. Folks at home, we have 28 out of 50 members. We're trying to hit 50 by, it's actually a week from yesterday, so we have less than a week to hit this goal. If you have the means, consider donating memberships. Super chats are great because you can affect science. But we're done with the science part now. So if you have the means, we appreciate it. We're trying to hit 50 so that we can say, this is why we're trying to do it, so we can say we hit 50 during the show. Yeah.
Liam, I cannot be on the bottom of the list because I have glasses. So
glasses are cool.
Scientific.
Yeah. He has muscles and glasses.
Yep.
Which is a weird combo, actually, now that I think about it.
It's a weird combo.
Do they cancel each other out?
Maybe that's why I'm at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
let's talk Slaves to Darkness. So first, in today's article, worth pointing out, we didn't get anything new and cool other than the Slaves to Darkness information itself. Abraxia, how have her points changed, Saray?
So for 360, she's gone up 40 points.
Okay.
She's a very different model, though.
She's very different.
Completely different use case.
Can we chat battle formations?
Yeah, let's chat these first, though.
Okay.
All right, so we've got Chaos Horde. I like this. This is this wants you to run mixed Darkoath and Chaos Warriors. So it's Devotees of Ruin once per turn. In your hero phase, you pick a friendly Warriors of Chaos unit, then pick 2 visible friendly Darkoath units that do not have a pledge to Chaos that are wholly within 12 of that Chaos Warriors of Chaos unit. And until the start of your next turn, the targets have the same pledge to Chaos keyword as that Warriors of Chaos unit. It's a lot of stipulations. It's a lot of, a lot of things that need to be right for you to take advantage of this. Mm-hmm. So I don't love that, especially the wholly within 12 is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
However, I think we've kind of seen this with the other Chaos factions in that they're trying to mix demons and mortals.
Yeah.
This kind of like what this is. You're trying to get your Darkoath and Warriors of Chaos working together, which is how I think the army should work.
Yeah.
To be clear, I much prefer the mixed horde as opposed to strictly dudes in armor. I think leave that to Stormcast. But I think this is cool because there's a way that it changes the way you play.
Yeah.
I think that if you take a Warriors of Chaos unit, what you want Darkoath for is for screens, right?
Right.
So what you do is you take Warriors of Chaos or Chosen with Mark of Nurgle. You put your screen in front. Now they have Mark of Nurgle. Makes them a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
If you want to give Mark of Corn, it makes them a little killier if you're running Savagers.
Right.
Um,
I like this with the combination as far as movement goes and placement. I agree. The 12 inches is a bummer. This is not particularly exciting for me, infantry to infantry. So if you're talking, here's my 10 Chaos Warriors, and here's 10 Darkoath, there's 10 Savagers, 10 Marauders, and I'm trying to pass stuff out. I'm not super interested in this. Maybe when we start scrumming turn 3, turn 4. But where I really like this is this combination of using Darkoath infantry or cavalry and having them getting buffed by things like Knights and Vanguard. Because I think Knights and Vanguard are going to be able to get into where they need to be, pass out these buffs a little bit better, get screened more effectively. Even Fell Riders, any kind of Darkoath, I think wants to actually be near. The way I see you taking this, it's almost like you've got your warriors or your Vanguard surrounded by Darkoath infantry or maybe even Fell Riders.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because you're going to be using Darkoath as a screen anyway, and this is just a way to make that screen a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't require much more setup. It's not. You're using Darkoath the way you're already going to use them anyway.
Right.
As the guys to eat bullets and
eat shit.
Eat a charge. So just making them a little bit better is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. Champions of Chaos.
Champions of Chaos. This is fun. Paragons of Darkness. Just a simple add 2 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons for non-monster Slaves of Darkness heroes. That's great.
Yeah.
I keep talking about how I want to run a bunch of champions, exalted champions.
Mm-hmm.
7 attacks, 3s, Rend 3, damage 3 for 80 points.
Wowie wow.
That's nuts.
It's also you were
They
saying
go to 9 attacks if you give them a Mark of Corn.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
And then he can get maybe you can actually make use of the rule, right? The getting bonus things rule. What's it called? Dark Apotheosis?
Dark Apotheosis?
Yeah, you can actually maybe use Dark Apotheosis for once. It also affects, as you mentioned before the stream, Demon Princes.
Yes, that's suddenly also very good.
Yeah.
They go up to... sorry, I said Champions of Chaos go to 9 attacks. It goes to 8, 7 attacks, and then potentially 1 with Corn up to 8. Demon Prince goes to 8 attacks, potentially 9 with a Mark of Corn.
With 3/3 Ren 1, it's crit mortals, 3 damage. We said almost Marathi. Almost Marathi's output. Now, here's a question for you. Let's talk about the Exalted Hero of Chaos. Or is that what it's called? Exalted Champion of Chaos?
Yeah.
He can go inside a regiment, yeah?
Yes.
He's got to be able to. So you could take 3 of these guys for 240 points. That's extremely interesting. Yeah, we should absolutely get that on the stream ASAP.
It's very funny.
I love the idea of these 3 little guys. And again, they can be body blocked. They can be character blocked. Yeah. Late game, these three dudes are a menace. One of them's probably dead.
They only go up to damage 3 against heroes.
Okay, but
and then 3 against heroes.
Okay, but they're damage 2 with 8 attacks.
Yeah,
potentially. Yeah,
it's 80 points.
It's still good. It's still good.
Yeah.
And against heroes, it's not bad. I mean, how many big stupid heroes are we throwing around on the board routinely?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Like yesterday, Scumdrek absolutely picked up by one of these, right?
Yeah, potentially.
So I like this more now that we're talking about it.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I was not super into it. Now, last thing I wanted to just point out about the 2 new sub-factions. Sure enough, in traditional Chaos, GW's treatment of this army. Stupidest names for battle formations. Phoned in for sure.
Chaos Board Champions of Chaos.
So for context, we've got right off the top of my head, Daughters of Cain. It's Arena Veterans, pretty cool. And then Zealots, what is it? Coven Zealots. Chaos Horde. Champions of Chaos. What?
These are just confused with Darkoath Horde.
Yeah, Horde. Right. Yeah, Megan's right. Battle Masters. This is like just
Bad
Very
guys.
old school. Very old school. Yeah, the bad guys. That's what they should have
The
called
bad
it.
guys.
The bad guys.
Circle of evil.
Yeah, evil men.
Evil bad guy time.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fun. I like both of them for different reasons. We're going to talk about at the end about what they're trying to do with Darkoath, but I think this is the way I would like. A little bit better version of this is how I want to see Darkoath implemented into Chaos Warriors. Or, I mean, Slaves of Darkness. Let's talk about
You
artifacts.
mean evil men?
Evil men. Sorry.
Bad guys.
Yeah. Bad guy. Fun time.
Bad guy fun time.
All right. So, Amulet of Chaos. Hey, this is going to sound familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a visible enemy unit within 12 of this unit to be the enemy target. Then you can pick a friendly Darkoath infantry unit in combat with that enemy to be the friendly target. Roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the enemy target equal to the roll. If there's any friendly target, return a number of slain models equal to the roll. So,
yeah,
you know it's really good at the end of turn? Doing damage.
Yeah.
You know what else is really good at the end of the turn is bringing back models.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. And this is end of any turn.
Yep.
If you're running Darkoath infantry, we're going to look at the other two here in a second. But if you're running Darkoath infantry, this one's hard to beat.
Yeah. I mean, yes, especially in formations where, like Darkoath Horde, for instance, where you're bringing back units. So you're bringing back units and bringing back models is very good.
Yeah.
I think this is fun. It's not like crazy good, but it's cool. It's cool to be able to do damage and bring models back.
Right. Yeah. It's just pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it has stipulation of you have to be within 12 inches of an enemy, but
another cool name.
Yeah, Amulet of Chaos.
Amulet of Chaos. Whoa, guys.
Here's an actually good name. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
The next one's actually a good name. The Varanite Shackle. That's a good name.
That's a good name.
So friendly non-Warriors of Chaos, Slaves of Darkness units have a 6-up ward while they are wholly within 12 inches of this unit. Somehow, cool name, kind of mid ability.
Yeah, it's what this literally could be rephrased as friendly models, all friendly models, friendly non-friendly models, or it's just to say no models that in your army have a ward of 6-up while they're wholly within 12 inches of this unit. Here's an artifact.
Exactly.
Here's an artifact that goes out of its way to not work on your army. It calls out your whole army and says, just not those guys.
Just not those.
It's for Darkoath, right? It's for Darkoath?
It's for Darkoath.
Yeah.
You don't have to put on a Darkoath character, of course. You could put this on your exalted hero who's going to do all the damage.
Yeah.
But it's actually fine. So I think there's a little bit of interesting comboing you can do here. So you can give a 6-up ward, and then you can give a Pledge to Chaos. So the Pledge to Chaos for Nurgle is a 6-up ward, but if you already have a ward, it goes to a 5. So you could potentially have a bubble of 5-up ward on Darkoath.
Yeah, and you take You take the what is it called? Bad guy horde.
Yeah, Chaos Horde.
Variant Shackle. You've got 5-up ward. Darkoath.
And a bubble.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
It's not bad.
It's interesting. Very techy stuff here.
Yeah.
Here's another good name.
Head of the Unworthy. This is amazing. This is my favorite. This is probably my favorite artifact of power that we've seen in Scourge of Gyran, because it's just very funny.
Okay.
Head of the Unworthy. If a friendly Slaves of Darkness hero with any Dark Apotheosis points is destroyed, give this unit 8 Dark Apotheosis points. So
it turns into a Demon Prince.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if one guy just runs off and gets himself killed, you turn into a Demon Prince. It's just amazing.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's funny because they were experimenting with ways to give people Dark Apotheosis points.
Yeah.
With in the Battle Tome.
Right.
It was like, it's fine. It's still kind of annoying. I don't know if it's really worth it. It's like I'd have to fight an amount of times that's maybe not reasonable.
Right.
Now it's just like, listen, if anyone fights and someone dies, someone's turning into a Demon Prince.
So this goes very interesting with our like three three exalted champions, right? Because you put this on one of them, you send the other two forward. They're gonna die. At least one of them's gonna die, and then you get a quote unquote 70-point demon prince.
Yeah.
Or 80 points.
Exactly.
How much is he? 80 point. 80-point demon
80
prince. Yeah. What? That's great.
Yeah. Maybe he might be more than 80. He might be like 90 or.
Okay.
I think he's more expensive than Chaos Lord. He might be 110 actually.
Okay.
But still, it's pretty cheap.
You can put it on some. You can put it on the Fell Rider chieftain guy. You can put it on a. You can put it on a Darkoath thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, he's 110 points. So like not quite as good.
Yeah. Pretty
Hey,
interesting.
no. 110 points. How much is it? How much is an exalted hero? Let me actually look this up. He's 90 points. So
90.
he's 10 points more expensive than a Chaos Lord.
Still not bad. You could, which is kind of funny. You could also put it on a Chaos Lord. Like I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of fun. These are all
I think it's
pretty decent. These are all better than I thought they were upon first glance. Yeah.
So let's see. We're gonna run Champions of Chaos with a ton of exalted champions, and then once one of them inevitably dies, he turns it to a demon prince, or someone else turns it to a demon prince.
Now Brian and Puma in chat are saying they're interested in this thing on the Therodon, the Ogroid Therodon guy.
Oh, right, because they're not Warriors of Chaos.
Yeah.
That is really interesting, actually.
So right, so we're talking about we're talking about.
That's really the Varanite Shackle.
The Varanite Shackle here, right?
Of Ruin. Sorry, Chaos Horde.
Interesting. Well, it won't work on them. You can't give them keyword though, because they're not Darkoath.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they have to be Darkoath when they're in the bad guy horde. But fun time.
Right.
But okay, but still, it's pretty interesting.
Give me out to Therodons.
Yeah.
Good. All right, let's talk about Abraxia.
Okay, Abraxia. Sigmar's
She's very different now.
Sigmar's latest it girl. How do we feel about Abraxia and her new war scroll?
So her wheel's the same, but her attack, her melee weapon attacks have changed. She just has +1 damage on Gorbolga. Gabagool. She doesn't roll on the table anymore, so she has lost. So she always has 4 damage if she charges. Before she used to have to charge and roll on the table to get 4 damage.
Yeah.
But she's also lost access to potential for crit mortals. That was only a 1 in 6 chance anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
I guess just having a flat 4 damage is good. I would not have minded if she got an extra attack just to make up for the loss of potential crit mortals, but I'll take it.
Okay.
So let's talk about Unstoppable Invasion. This is once per turn, any charge phase. If this unit charged, pick an enemy within 1 inch of this unit to be the target. You can inflict D3 mortals, roll 2d6. This unit can move a distance up to the value of the roll. It can pass through models in the target unit, but it must end that move in combat. It's basically a little Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. Well, actually, this is what Tokyo Drift is now.
Yeah.
It is exactly Tokyo Drift. It's we see some folks, by folks I mean monsters, do D3. We see other ones do the 2d6 move. She does both. She's not the only one that does that, but it's nice to see that both happen here.
Oh, thank you. Also, the Thanatorg also got +1 to wound and rend. That's right. It was wounding on 3s. Why was it ever wounding on 3s?
A weird monster wounding on 3s, like a bird, like a big bird.
Yeah. What is this?
Like a nerd.
Yeah.
Bird.
That's actually significantly better.
Yeah.
So she's just deadlier in general.
Yeah. Okay. This next one.
Then we have Champion of the... I like Unstoppable Invasion.
Yeah, it's good. One of the things I thought about her when I saw her, this will be somewhat familiar compared to the Carnosaur that we looked at yesterday, although much worse at it, is I feel like she's kind of become less of a buffing piece now, and more of a lone operator. She's gonna go out and she can hold down. She can take out mid-level units. She can take out screens. She's not going to go toe-to-toe with hammers or anvils very well, but she can be kind of a fast-moving little mini version of things. For how many points?
360?
That's a little pricey for that, but...
Yeah, it's not amazing.
Yeah.
I will also talk about the other thing she lost, is that she lost her mortals back. She used to do mortals back when she took damage on a 4-up. So I think she would have liked to have kept that ability if the idea is that she's running out and destroying shit. And let's talk about champions of the undivided.
Yeah.
Pick a friendly non-unique Slaves Dark unit wholly within 12 this unit that does not have a pledge to chaos. We'll talk about this in a minute. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to the rend characteristic of melee weapons used by the target while they're contesting an objective that you do not control. All right, that's a lot of stipulations.
It's a lot of stipulations on both the declare and the effect. And that seems to be like a chaos thing. I don't know. They do that to you guys a lot, I've noticed. It's almost a really good ability, except for the
declare. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a great ability, but it's got the rend thing, right?
Too many stipulations.
Yeah.
What the thing the thing with the no pledge to chaos? That's the second time we've seen this in Scourge of Gyran.
Right.
And you see it in the Chaos Horde.
Yeah.
Why do you give me rules if you don't want me to interact with them?
So,
what?
Who has no pledge to chaos? This would be
so everyone
Darkoath.
Who doesn't, you give pledges of chaos every turn.
Okay. And
you get 1 Ensorcelled Banner at the beginning.
Right. Okay. So you start with 2 units in your army are pledged to chaos, basically. Probably. Okay.
Yeah, but by turn 2 you have 3.
Okay.
So it's like,
and you probably only have 8 units. Right.
Units.
Right. Interesting.
I don't know. I don't love it.
They've got to be contesting an objective that you do not control. But that's a reoccurring chaos theme. Who else? Yeah. Chaos Warriors. Don't Chaos Warriors
get
Warriors?
Yeah, they get
+1 attack. Right.
I think it's +1 attack. Yeah.
Yeah. So her palling around with 20 Chaos Warriors is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that seems that you both kind of get it. It's. I just wish it was on an objective, not an objective that you do not control.
Well, yeah, or maybe like find objective you do not control, like to tech in with Chaos Warriors, but then give me she fights, they fight.
Yes, no, well, I also think that the Chaos Warriors rule should change to just being on an objective.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
I don't know. Too many. It's so many rules, I'm going to forget it. It's like, oh, wait, what? No, I'm not going to bother trying to set this up. It's too much. Okay, end of any turn, though. This one's decent.
Yeah.
Unending Will to Conquer. If this unit is contesting an objective that you do not control, again, annoying, heal D6.
If you failed in what you were trying to do,
here's a consolation prize.
Now, hold on a second. Actually, you gain control at the end, so you could do both. You could
do both.
You could heal and then take control of the objective. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Liam. I would rather have a smaller bonus to just have it going off all the time as opposed to annoying million I mean, it's like they want you to just like, okay, just send her down the board. Down the board to something she can't control. She's 360 points though.
She does have a ward of 5 and a 3-up save, and I think that's pretty intense. But it's just that the problem is that, if you're playing 40k, you're loving that right now, that stat line. But the problem is that there's a lot of mortal damage in Sigmar, which I like, and then there's so much Ren 1 that she's almost certainly spending a CP to get that to stay at the 3-up.
Yeah. I think if they wanted her to be like a missile, she needed like one more good thing.
Yeah.
I think they should like strike first, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something.
Now, the mutative spear does kind of tech into how they want you to use her, though.
Yes. Weirdly, this is like what seems like the one thing that does work. So pick an enemy unit that had any damage points allocated to it this turn by this unit's combat attacks to be the target. The target has a maximum control score of 1 for the rest of the turn. Do you want me to control the objective or not?
I know.
What do you want from me, GW? Do you want me to go attack the objective, but you don't want me to control it, but you're going to make it so that I control it by making them control 1. What do you want from me?
I mean, two people two people wrote this, right? And didn't talk to each other.
They did not talk to each other.
I mean, both pages, I feel like two people wrote, and like we're not quite. Yeah, but I don't know. I also like there's a lot of it is techie, and I do kind of want to see it happen because I do feel like there are little, like we said, you can jump in. And you can pick the ordering of some of these of many of these abilities, right?
Yeah.
You can jump in, heal,
Yep.
drop something's control score to 1, then take control of the objective.
Yeah.
And Abraxia is 5. There's a lot of little cool bones they could have given her, make her control 10, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do feel like she's like Matt Rose, she's one thing away from being. Somebody said James needs more attacks. Yeah. What if she had 8 attacks?
What if she had 2 more attacks?
2 more attacks.
Yeah. She can't do it though.
She can't do it. She's a monster. So there's just like she's so close. Or maybe I want to see her at 290 or 300.
Yeah, 360 is way too much for this.
Yeah. 290 might be too cheap, but maybe 320, maybe 300. I don't know, but like she's so close.
What we need to do is we need to take her 2 existing war scrolls and then combine them into 1. Take away Unstoppable Invasion. Well, no, keep Unstoppable Invasion. Get rid of Champions of the Undivided. I guess you can leave Unending Will to Conquer. I maybe take that away, and then give her Varanite Blood back.
Well, no, the thing is, yeah, take away Champions of the Undivided. She's not.
It's useless.
Right. She is a lone operator. You want her on her own. She's running around snagging objectives. Everything else here says that's what I do. Right. Unstoppable Invasion is a good example because she moves 2d6, but she has to stay in combat. So someone who is towed out, so to speak, towed in but facing you to try to block a taking objective, she doesn't care about that. She can move around. She can probably snag it. She can pile in, obviously. And then she does these other 2 abilities. She wants to go take objectives, right? In the current GHB, she's like, you can count on her to help you get attack on 2 fronts. So then why does she have this buffing piece here?
It's a little bit confused.
The blood would be better. You're right. Yeah.
Vlakod, Champions of Undivided on Knights or Vanguard. I mean, I think, yes, adding additional rend would be good on both of those units, but I think if I'm sending a unit of Vanguard in, I'm probably giving them a pledge beforehand, right? Like, I would rather those Knights have, those Vanguard have Mark of Khorne, and this requires you to not have a Pledge of Chaos. So,
yeah.
I think I'd probably take 1 attack over, because already Rend 2. Going to Rend 3 is not bad if people are all defending, but I'd rather hope for the procking of crit mortals with the extra attacks.
Now, Yusa saying also Ogroid's another good target for this.
There's plenty of good targets. It's all the stipulations.
Right, yeah.
The problem isn't the Rend, it's the not being pledged, being on an objective you do not control.
That's the big one.
Yeah. It's the stipulations. If it was just give +1 rend, it would be amazing.
I agree. Yusa saying I still want to try. I'm sure Saray's going to try her on stream.
I'm going to try it.
Absolutely. I'm sure she might be interesting. Like I said, I do think her ability to jump around and take objectives is good.
Yeah, I mean, her new attack stat line and Unstoppable Invasion are enough to make me want to at least try it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's too expensive at 360.
Yes,
but I'll definitely try it. Especially the Thanator going to wounding on 2s feels like what the standard should be. Mm-hmm. Honestly.
Yeah, she's CP hungry for auto attack for sure. We know that in the new edition, that's going to drop her save. But I think if you're using her correctly, you're mostly going into targets that she's going to just take out anyway. You're not probably super worried about dropping her save 1.
I mean, she has 4 damage on the attack. Like,
I know.
Like, it's
4 damage on the charge. Anti-hero red. Again, how many big stupid heroes are we dealing with, right? Like, all the time. I mean, like, she can one-shot a Carnosaur if she goes first.
Yeah, exactly, right.
She better
do the right thing. She wreck face.
She better not miss. She better not miss.
is that Carnosaur biting her face off.
Yeah. How do you feel
At
about?
360 minus spin more for Be'lakor. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, right?
yeah.
If this, how much would y'all pay for this? Honestly, 320. If this was 320 which is what she is right now, I think
I
I'd like
think
it.
I think even less. I think 300 on the dot.
Does she punch out an ethereal Carnosaur? I think we're talking about the Scourge of Gairan, although ethereal Carn that is that a battle formation?
Oh no! So this is what I think Meg will be taking this tomorrow against John. There's a artifact, no heroic trait that makes an unrendable save.
Oh Jesus!
And so it'll be on a Carnosaur. So a Carnosaur is usually going to also have a
Never
4-up
mind.
unrendables. Yeah.
Don't attack that Carnosaur, girl.
Yeah.
Stay back. Yeah, I think people pointing out Be'lakor is like, yeah, Be'lakor. Yeah, Be'lakor is probably the best war scroll in the game right now.
James
So
says 280. 280 sounds, honestly, it doesn't sound shocking. Again, so I would love her at 280. Remove Champion of the Undivided, give her nothing, and take her to 280. Then she's quite interesting, to be honest with you.
yeah. But then for 280, it becomes a cascading thing. It's like, well, a Demon Prince is 260. How much deeper the
No. She's better than a Demon Prince. She's better than a Demon Prince. Yeah.
Demon Prince is probably too expensive too.
Probably.
But
how do you feel about the update? Your Scourge of Gairan update. Where do we place this one? We will rank all these, by the way, at some point. Yeah.
Okay. Overall, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way in which they're pushing Darkoath, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try Abraxia's new thing. I don't think it's bad, as much as I had just talked about it. I think it's overly complicated. It's too many like stipulations and setups.
You guys should be used to that though. There's that's a theme in the chaos.
That's a thing for us. But I don't hate it. I'm not upset with it. I am kind of one thing I'm kind of upset with is I wish they would have given us 2 variant war scrolls. I really would have liked to see an upgrade on Be'lakor's right hand man. That would have been cool. You have Archeon's right hand man.
Eternus.
The two best buddies, Eternus, because Eternus is just not good.
Yeah.
If anyone needed a glove, it was Eternus, not Abraxia.
Yeah.
But
that would have been cool.
I think the artifacts power are really fun. I think Head of the Unworthy is like hilarious.
It's interesting. Free Demon Prince is cool.
Funny.
Yeah.
Champions of Chaos, I can see getting play, potentially even changing lists to maximize it. I'm not upset with it.
Yeah. It's not Daughters level. It's not even Cruel Boys level, but it's who else did we say was in that kind of like I got some fun stuff. Sons of Behemoth, I think. Korn got some fun stuff. That's like they're not better, but it's cool. Yeah. I do like you said, how they're pushing it to be like, hey, let's try to keep making Darkoath a thing. I want Darkoath to be a thing. Let's chat that, Saray. We said that would be our special topic today.
Yeah.
Here it is. We call this the Darkoath problem, right? So the problem here is that for me, and Saray and I both have some thoughts on this. It feels a little bit like a battle tome within a battle tome. It feels
Cruel Boys now they're separate. Cruel Boys in problem when they weren't fully fleshed out.
It feels like It feels like almost more like the gloom, like some of the destruction ones, like Gloom Spike gets, or ogres and Beastclaw Raiders maybe, but not even. They feel like they're just in there. So we have 2 different thoughts. My thought is, at some point, this just needs to be its own battle tome. Your thought is different. What is your take on this?
I think your thought is probably more reasonable. As Yusuf just pointed out, like the problem with Darkoath is warriors are just better for not much more.
Yeah.
So Darkoath, in order to stay inside of the larger Slaves of Darkness book, I think they need to get like pretty significant points drops.
Mm-hmm.
But then it starts to become okay. Well, now I'm just going to bring 500 dark, you know,
Right.
which I guess isn't a that's fine too. Actually, I think something I want to see, and this is I mentioned it earlier with Slaves to Darkness is chaos. I feel like in whether it's 40k or AOS or fantasy or whatever, I always felt like they're like the dark mirror of like the good guys.
Yes.
Space Marines, Stormcast. I know Space Marines aren't good, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes. Yes.
And in my opinion, Slaves to Darkness, tit for tat, man to man, a Slaves to Darkness armored guy should be stronger than an Order or Space Marine, big armored guy.
And Sigmar should be stronger than a Stormcast Eternal.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
A standard Chaos Warrior should be able to whoop on a Stormcast Eternal.
Okay.
But they should be more expensive, and to make up for it, you should have hordes of Darkoath, like chaff.
Right.
And because I think thematically that's how they're always presented, right? It's always the hordes of chaos. It's always a ton of beastmen running up ahead. It's a bunch of marauders on the flanks, and then like a few very strong chaos warriors who are like monsters.
Do you think? Let me ask you this. You just put a random thought into my head. Could you see a world in which they do get their own battle tome? And this is actually where we see at least some units, maybe even we talk about wings of armies, like another. Can we see Darkoath get their own battle tome, and then down the road, Beasts of Chaos kind of show up back in here?
They're gonna make a Darkoath, and they're gonna put Darkoath in Legends and bring back Beastmen.
But in all seriousness, it kind of makes sense. Actually, even in I want to say in Black Talon in an episode with Daughters of Cain, where what they've done is they've liberated a city, the Daughters. They've liberated from Darkoath, who overran it, and I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, someone who might remember that episode. Check me if I'm wrong. I think there's like Beasts of Chaos with them too, with the Darkoath that have also like overrun the city that the Daughters took back over. It kind of, for me, that's sort of how I see them. I see them as a replacement in play style to Beasts of Chaos.
Yeah, right. They're like heavily recursion, coming off the sides of the board, doing tricksy stuff. They're not an exact one for one, but they're kind of filling a similar role.
Yeah.
I mean, we say all that, but then like Darkoath Marauders already existed too.
Right.
Like, separate from Beastmen, they were always their own thing.
Yeah. No, I think
gone, it's like who's filling that void?
Yeah, I think narratively it makes sense. For me, I'm like, this should be the Chaos Horde army. Now, people are going to say, well, we already have that Skaven. I was saying before the stream, there are two armies that come right into mind that I always say are just weird ass armies that are just break all the archetypes, and it's Nighthaunt and KO. But there is this sub layer of Deepkin. Who else is Tzeentch, right? Kind of weird. Like
it's Skaven, right?
Sylvaneth, and then I think Skaven are in there. Skaven are very similar to Sylvaneth in a lot of ways, right? I think they're kind of in this weird down layer, and you can do a lot of different things. I want, when I take my Darkoath Battle Tome down whenever it comes out, if it comes out, I want it to be like, this is a Horde army. You can't just tech into Rat Ogres. You can't just tech into Rat Ogres and Storm Fiends and giant guns.
Yeah, if they want to make it's weird, right? If they want to make Darkoath their own thing, they have to like really keep it reined in. Like they can't like expand the line crazy.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, think Daughters of Cain, Horde infantry army running across the board. But a lot of differences, right? We have cavalry, Daughters of Cain. We have light cav. They'll have light cav. You have fell riders already. It's great. Think about you've got your little monster, pseudo monster in the. It's got all the parts Frankly,
Yeah.
it needs like 1 or 2 units, maybe more. Certainly, a cool like catapult or something would be awesome, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a
yeah.
like a crude
You want
like
Darkoath Imperial Guard? Yes.
yes,
That's
yeah,
perfect. Thank you.
yeah. Well, so Saray, though, this is what we were saying before stream. This is the other
Yeah.
thing, is I
Give 'em
think
gun.
one of the give them guns. Yeah, I mean maybe. I mean, honestly, ogres have
Kind
them,
of
right?
interesting. I
It'd be
mean,
kind of
that'd be
interesting,
pretty fun.
like
That'd be pretty crazy.
muskets,
Like
like
this,
like
a
like
unit
a
that like
musket.
stole a bunch of guns.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so I think one of the problems that we have right now in fourth edition is the community, and I blame Matt Rose exclusively for this if he's watching, which I'm sure he's not. Hopefully, I would say that we have not fully like wrapped our head around our understanding, narratively, competitively, casually, on like regiments of renown. I don't know how
Yeah.
many we've gotten right. It feels like the ones that we see are little hero clusters, Saviors of Cinderfall, Black Talons. So Yusuf is talking about souping in allies, and we're saying, yeah, I do want to be able to take Darkoath with Chaos Warriors, but I want there to be a Darkoath, Darkoath Regiment of Renown that's like, here's your 40, here's your 20, here's your 2 units of 20 Marauders, here's your 1 unit of 20 Savagers, here's 2 units of 5 Fell Riders, and someone leading them, or maybe 2 people, right? Maybe not that many things in it, but that's how allies are supposed to work. Regiments of Renown are supposed to be allies. I just don't think we're like seeing them that way or taking them that way quite yet. Because you're right. I don't want to truly separate Darkoath from Chaos Warriors, Slaves of Darkness. But there needs to be a better system where we can feel like both books can get their flavor. Frankly, I mean, the ogres are going to have the same problem. You can't give 3 artifacts to 2 armies and say, hey, share these Beastclaw Raiders, share these Frostlord, share these Tyrant, right? Share these Butcher. Like here's a Priest one. Okay, well, as soon as you make a Priest artifact or a Priest Warlord trait in the ogre book, it's now Gutbusters only have 2 artifacts to pick from. So you can't you can't do that. You do need to split these books out, I think.
Or put more into those books that are basically 2 armies in one.
Yeah. I mean, I think Iron Jaws and Cruel Boys does the best job of this.
Yeah.
And I think Darkoath could do that as well. Darkoath could be the same book, and have like Big Wa, like you're saying, right?
Yeah, I think the problem right now is that Darkoath just don't have the models. The units, right? They have Marauders, Savagers,
Yeah.
Fell Riders, and then like 5 characters that are fine. You probably use a chariot, so
Yeah.
give me a chariot.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff in chat. Let's just go through real quick because I think people are making a lot of good points.
Yeah.
So Yusuf pointing out that like maybe you move warriors to a more elite 5 to 10 man unit. That way 20 man Marauders units make sense. I can see that. That's kind of what I was saying, is like making that the difference is like, all right, you need to like really make them warriors elite.
Right.
Darkoath hordes.
Right.
I think what I would want to see is just better integration. So if we look at the Scourge of Gyran stuff they talked about today, it's they have hey, if you're a Chaos Warriors unit and you have a Darkoath unit, you get a bonus.
Right.
And that's good. That is a step in the right direction, but I don't think it's... I think if they want to make them work well, it needs to be a lot more. Basically, all the Darkoath rules they have right now, they need to like make them all happen in one like formation. It needs to be like, all right.
Look at him. Perfect time for him to freeze up like that. Ty, clip it.
Yes, if you're standing against Chaos Warriors... I'm still there. Okay. It's funny because like I'm frozen, but like I'm not frozen on my screen. I can just hear you talking.
Yeah.
I want to see if you're standing next to Chaos Warriors, you get this Darkoath, get this bonus. I also want it to go back the other way. I think if you want to do something crazy, if Darkoath are standing next to Chaos Warriors, you can pass off damage on a 6-up. Kind of like we see with like Bellacore, right? With passing off wounds on a 4-up.
Like a chosen just grabs a
Yeah, he's
Dark
like,
Oath guy and holds him in front of a witch elf.
Yeah,
Stab
I
him.
make it mutually beneficial, so it makes the warriors better too.
Yeah.
I also want to see, but like I don't want that to be the only thing in a battle formation. I want something like that, and Darkoath can come back, which is like a completely different battle formation right now.
Yeah,
So like it needs to be more than just one thing right now, because like I think it was Yusuf. It's just like, why would I take Darkoath?
right,
The warriors are just better.
right, and for not that much more.
Not much more.
I think I would say a couple things. Yeah, we would want to see Darkoath be able to do maybe move a little. Yeah, move a little quicker. Which I think they don't even right now. Something like I feel like the pieces are swirling. I feel like it's there. This is Darkoath is new. It's a very new concept.
Yeah.
I like what Necromancer Goblin said. Bring back some of the Warcry units and make them fit Darkoath as different war bands.
Oh yeah,
I like that. I think that the problem there is, well, it doesn't have to be this case, and you could certainly
unlegend them.
Oh yeah, unlegends them. It's never been done before.
Yeah,
it's never been done. Unlegends.
Actually, they're not that great. We're bringing them back.
They're back.
They're not legends anymore.
Yeah. I think that is a great idea. I kind of assume some people might be doing that anyway. I've always assumed like I would some of them really lend themselves to that. Spire Tyrants. Who are the crazy ones that are all cut up? Yeah, some of them just sort of look like they could easily be Darkoath anyway, or like fit that role, right?
Liam, Liam, great suggestion. Having their oaths turn on within X of chaos.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah,
it just needs to be something, and like I said though, I think it needs to go both ways. I think it can't just be Darkoath benefit from warriors. It needs to be warriors benefit from Darkoath.
Yeah,
mostly in the form of a meat shield.
Yeah,
is I think the easiest and most straightforward.
I love Darkoath. I have to say that I probably would not do this ever in the near future. But if it became its own thing, it's probably the thing in Chaos that's most exciting to me. I do love my horde armies anyway. The idea of just this horde of barbarians, like people say, they're hardly even justifiable as bad guys in a lot of. I think Elijah pointed it out, right? They're really rural folk who have. Probably they did vote against their own best interests for a while, and maybe they deserve a little bit of what they got.
They got left behind.
Right. But
literally got left behind.
They deserve a little bit of what they got, but maybe not a fentanyl epidemic, right, for sure. So, they're fun. They're cool. I think the pieces are kind of swirling. I hope they get it right in this edition, like soon. I hope they get it right soon, frankly.
All right. Before we end the show, though, we were talking about if Darkoath were to become their own thing, I want to see some 2 wound 4-up save Darkoath.
Well, this is where Beasts and frankly, here's another thing that can swear allegiance to Chaos. We've already seen it. Ogres, right? Ogres, things other than humans. GW loves to just pull out a whole new race. Pull out like a weird race of ogre men, half creature things that are like a little bit taller than a human. Ogres? Yeah, like but this is where Beasts of Chaos could come back in, right? Yeah. You could have these sort of Chaos Dwarfs, right? You could have these sort of chaosy creature humanoids that we didn't know about, or they're Beasts of Chaos back, or whatever, right? That's exactly what you're saying. A little more elite, but not too elite. Yeah. Exciting stuff.
All right.
Did we do it?
I think so.
Should we talk about tomorrow's game on our way out?
Tomorrow's game.
Tomorrow's game is going to be a doozy. So first of all, Saray and I will be back here. I think we got a today.
Correct a teaser.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did we get one of those brutally no duh teasers today?
What does it say?
Hike up a mountain, bring your sunglasses. I think that one is pretty obviously Lumineth, right? Yeah.
I don't know. Hike up a mountain was like Beast Claw?
Well, but they
No,
have
it's definitely Illumina.
they have the mountain shrine, right? Illumina
Yeah,
has
yeah.
the mountain. Yeah. Does that mean we're getting mountain things actually? And bring your sunglasses. Pretty hardcore teaser.
Yeah, pretty Illumina.
Not quite as strong as tomorrow. We'll
It's
be covering
Cities of
Cities of
Sigmar.
Sigmar. Yeah. Matt Rose was only they got him at like 3 p.m., not like 5 p.m.
I'm
when
on
he
my
was.
way out of the office.
Yeah,
I don't have 73. Just say it's Cities of Sigmar.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's cool. We will have that show tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Typically, we end that show goes. We won't go over too much because then at 11 a.m. Pacific tomorrow we have a game. It's going to be a doozy. It is the drop, is the release day for Soulblight Gravelords. John will be here. He's got a great list. He's got all the new things. You're going to see Prince Vordry, Vampire Lord on Steed, 10 Barrow Guard. I'm trying to think what else he's got on that list. What's that?
Did you say Vordry?
Vordry, of course, is in there.
Okay.
I can't remember what else he's bringing. Cool stuff. Against Meg, and Meg will be bringing a Carnosaur.
She's bringing the evil Carnosaur.
Yeah. So we will see. I think Vordry or Carnosaur. Well, Vordry with Carnosaur with the 4-up unrendable. I was gonna say whoever touches who first kills the other one, but that's probably not true with the Carnosaur having a 4-up unrendable save.
That zombie dragon is gonna get its fucking neck snapped.
Yeah.
This Carnosaur.
Here you go, Soulblight. Here's your release day. Died to dinosaur immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out this Carnosaur destroyed your whole army.
Yeah. Yeah. Her list. We did play a practice game earlier in the week. It is nasty. It's got the Croxagors. It's got Croak. You got your mortal finger guns. You got your hammers. You got your anvils and the Saurus Guard. So it's tough. John's gonna have his work cut out for him, but I think it'll be a good game either way. Yeah. So be here tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time to check that one out. Other than that, did we do it, Saray?
I think so.
I think so.
I'll be painting up my Darkoath. There's about 40 of them you can't see off screen.
Fun. Last thing I will mention real quick. If you are in the Bay Area and you are California and you are going to Adepticon, not Adepticon, that's in Chicago. KublaCon. We will be there this evening for a little bit. Meg is taking part in a speed painting charity event that starts at 11 p.m. tonight. So we'll be there kind of late tonight. If you're there, swing by the painting area, say hi. We would like to say hi to you guys. So that would be great. I think we did, sir. Anything else?
Good.
All right, folks, as we like to say, be kind to each other, yourselves, always be creating. Bye, folks.
Bye.